Hi, I'm Emmanuel Lawisha. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today I'll be talking about how you and I can become non-judging, and then why do we need to be non-judging. I think that's one of the ways that can help us overcome fear and overcoming anxiety. In today's society, there is so much fear, there is so much anxiety going on, there is so much that's happening in you or around you which can affect you, can create fear. And sometimes, and actually a lot of times, what we need to do is to work on ourselves. So today I'll be talking about three things that can help you do that. Number one, everything that you encounter in life. So look at that as if that's how it was meant to be. So anything that comes your way, just take it in, embrace it. It may be negative, it may be affecting you in a way that you never wanted it to be affecting you, but still just embrace it. Embrace it. So accept the present. Be choose not to be in denial. That's what I'm trying to say. Choose not to be in denial of whatever is going on. So if something has already taken place in your life, just embrace it. It has become a part of your life story. So take it in, embrace it. No matter how difficult it may look or it may sound, how much challenging it may sound to you. But when you embrace it, when you choose to embrace everything in your life, that's a good sign. That's one of the things that will help you become non-judging. You don't look at who did it. Don't look at why this isn't fair. No, don't even use the word fairness. There may be somebody even in a much worse situation than yours. So never compare yourself to somebody else, but compare yourself to you, to what God has in mind for you. That bigger picture. So what you encounter today, take it as a piece of your puzzle, a piece of your story. So the second thing that you need to do to help you become non-judging is to learn to focus on yourself. Learn to focus on yourself. And there is a scripture that I'm going to read quickly here. I'm going to take you to, and this is from Matthew chapter 7. When you read verses 5, 6, and 7, Jesus is talking about non-judgment here. And he's saying that first, why is it that you have to look for the, for that, that speck in your brother's eye, and instead of first getting rid of the log in your eye? So what you have in your eye is so much bigger. That should always be your focus. But a lot of times it's so much easier to focus on what is going on in other people's lives, right? That we forget that we also have issues. So a healthy way or step for you and me to take so that we can become non-judging is to begin focusing on ourselves. So choose to focus on yourself. Spend more time worrying about not worrying, but working on your own self. And when you read Matthew, continue reading Matthew 7, I believe verse 6, or maybe verse 7, Jesus says that if you get rid of the log in your eye, you will see clearly. So every time you choose to focus and work on yourself, you free yourself from being judging to becoming non-judging, because you spend so much time working on you, on your mind. And one way we can work on ourselves is to reconnect with God. For me as a believer, I'll choose to reconnect with God the Creator, the Maker of the universe, and He has, He actually is the source of all knowledge, the source of everything. So I reconnect with God, and I discover more about myself. So I'm going to conclude with this here. The third step that can help you be non-judging is to choose to hear people's stories. You know, a life is a story. A human life, any human life is a story. In other words, every human being that you see, that's a story. And to choose not to be judging is to be willing to open up, approach people, and listen to their story. Imagine a society or a place or a community or a church or an organization or a company where every day, every member of that organization or company, when they wake up, they look forward, they are so eager to get to know, to hear the story of each other. So you sit down not to judge, not to condemn, but to just hear. Look at your neighbor or the stranger that you meet. We will always get so quickly to the conclusion of saying, this is a bad guy. This is a bad person. I have to avoid this person. But why don't we sometimes choose to say, hey, I want to get to know you. Tell me more about you. Because you want to hear the story behind the person that you see, the person that you choose to avoid. That person has a story. You also have a story. And I believe every time you choose to listen to people's stories, they'll also choose to listen to your story. So instead of fighting, instead of arguing, why don't we just sit down and listen? We hear each other as we share one another's story, as we figure out together what pieces of the story are probably missing. So talk to somebody, not to tell them what to do, not to try to fix, not trying to fix them. Talk to someone to hear their unique story. And I think, friends, those are the 3 steps to help us be non-judging. So number one is that you accept life as it presents itself. Embrace anything that you cannot change in life. Just take it in. Take it in. That's how it was meant to be. So the second point is that you have to focus on yourself. And the last point, the last step to help you become non-judging is to choose to always hear people's stories. And when we do this, not only we connect with each other, but we overcome fear and anxiety. So thank you so much. And again, my name is Emmanuel Nawish, and thank you so much for joining me and all of the others to spend some time, a few moments together here on social media. And I hope to see you next Tuesday. Thank you. Be safe and be non-judging.